If you want to be able to authoritatively beat really consistent, steady players, then you have to be able to attack with consistency yourself. If you're just consistent back and you match their consistency, well, you're trying to beat them on their turf, number one. Number two, it's probably going to be a very long match. If you're powerful and you attack with a lot of offense, but you don't have consistency, then you'll end up racking up the errors and you'll beat yourself, which is super frustrating. So the only way to attack and be consistent is to create some shape or some margin on your shots. Then you can be safe, you can build in safety and margin while attacking and being offensive, and that requires spin. So these are progressions I'm going to lead you through here that you can do at home without a coach or a teacher or a ball machine or even a partner. And I've used these with tennis players with really, really solid results. Tennis players who've never hit topspin before, who learned 50, 60 years ago how to hit the ball. I've shown them how to hit topspin with these progressions. So here's the first progression. Simply turn about 45 degrees or so to the side, grip the racket up at the very top of your handle, and then put your hand out right about even with the front of your front foot, and start with the tip of your racket pointing down, and then practice rotating the tip of the racket up. So tip of the racket down, tip of the racket up. And you'll see here from the side angle that my racket's not traveling forwards at all. It's only traveling vertically. It's only traveling upwards. And so from the back angle here, you'll see I'm tracing a half circle with the tip of my racket. And when I drop the ball in a minute, my goal is going to be to make contact with the ball right about in the middle of that half circle. So here's the starting position, here's the finishing position, and so we're only moving the racket vertically, and I want contact to be right here, at least in that ballpark. So after you shadow those a couple of times, get comfortable, go ahead, grab a couple balls, and just move this half circle back and forth, and then drop, and commit to just making this move, and not any forward movement at all. Did you hear that? So what we just heard was the strings moving against each other. There's kind of like a clicking sound. And that clicking sound is spin. That means the racket was actively traveling upwards as it made contact with the ball, and that moves the strings against each other. And then when they snap back, that's when we hear that click sound. And so you can watch the ball too, and you'll see it turning as it goes towards the other side, and you'll also see a curve or an arc to the shot. So if you've always struggled with topspin, just spend half an hour here and just feel this. And if you've never been able to hit topspin before, this is gonna just feel like magical when you get it. So again, just commit to the vertical movement, no forward movement. And once you get really comfortable here, then we can move back to the service line. The lesson you're watching right now is taken directly from my new book, Essential Tennis. If you're enjoying it, please know that this book is full of 38 other lessons, all focused on the fundamental areas of tennis that you need to get better. So go check it out on Amazon or wherever else books are sold. From back here, we're gonna make things a little bit more real life by just simply sliding the hand down to where you normally grip the racket now. And we're gonna set up in the same way, drop the tip of the racket down, circle the tip of the racket upwards in a half circle. So we just have a little bit more leverage now, a little bit more racket we're working with. And once you get comfortable and reacquainted with that move again, just go ahead and drop the ball, rotate the racket. And now with that extra leverage, the ball is gonna move a little bit more, have a little bit more spin and speed. Still not trying to go forwards at all, just focus on the vertical part of it. And so you'll notice the shape and the arc here. You'll hear the clicking. You want to listen for that at home. And you'll see the ball spinning towards the other side of the court as well. So tip down, drop, tip up, forward spin, clicking sound. And I'm seeing that shape. Once you get really comfortable with this, you can start with your racket up in whatever normal take-back position you like to go to in your unit turn. And now practice integrating your unit turn with the same dropping of the tip of the racket and the same circular turn of the hand. So I'll do one more of these, tip down, tip up, And now I'll go to my normal take back position, drop, go tip down and tip up. Take back position, drop, tip down and tip up. So you hear that same clicking sound. You see the same shape on the ball, the same rotation. And so there's lots of curve. And that curve gives us safety. That safety allows us to swing hard and aggressive without making tons of errors. Once you get comfortable here, you can go back to the baseline. Your final task now is to come back to the baseline, continue making full, kind of normal, routine forehand ground stroke swings. And now your job is to experiment with different ratios. And here's the way I like to think about this. Every ground stroke swing has a combination of vertical force and lateral or horizontal force. If all of the force is lateral and you're just swinging forwards, then you're going to have lots of power but very little margin and safety. If all of your force goes vertical and you just go upwards, you'll have lots of safety, lots of margin, but very little power or pace. So for most players, most of the time, an average rally ball should be right about 50-50. And it depends on your style. It doesn't have to be 50-50, but there should be some kind of mix. It shouldn't be 100% spin, and it shouldn't be 100% drive. And so for me, that's probably 60-40, like 60% vertical or spin and 40% forwards. And that's probably 60-40 for drive. It was probably 60% drive, 40% vertical or spin. So your job as an improving tennis player is to experiment with this, have fun with it, and find, that was about 50-50 for me, find an ideal ratio that allows you to be confident and hit full out through the ball, but still gives you safety. Most of your peers, when they miss a shot, instead of adding more shape, they swing more carefully and more tentatively. And that will put a ceiling on your improvement. It will keep you from developing and advancing your game. If every time you miss, you're more careful, then you won't be able to continue beating better and better players. So this is the key. This is the essential element that you need to break through. Do this with your backhand. I've obviously only done forehands, but you should do the same thing with your backhand. You can do it with a two-handed backhand or a one-handed backhand. Do the same rotation, the same progressions, and apply different ratios to different situations on the court, and I promise you will be more successful. If you enjoyed that lesson and you'd like more, make sure to go pick up a copy of my new book, Essential Tennis, co-written by my good friend here, Joel Chasnoff. And inside this book is really the culmination of my entire coaching career, the last 20 years of working with students, helping them make breakthroughs. And this book contains the most important elements that you need at the foundation of your game for tactics, for technique, for the mental game, for learning how to improve and self-guide. So if you're looking to break through to the next level, this is full of 38 chapters, the most important principles, as well as lots of video lessons that are connected to the book material and content, case studies. It's just incredibly, incredibly insightful and valuable. So if over the years I've brought you any value at all through my online lessons and you'd like to help support me, then do me a favor, go to Amazon or anywhere else books are sold and go pick up a copy today.